In today's episode of the Redesigned Podcast, we're looking at the death of phone calls. Why does everyone prefer messaging now? And is the ordinary phone call truly on its last legs? Will Samsung be the one to move us into the world of augmented and virtual reality? We're uncovering Samsung's answer to the Apple Vision Pro. Also, we uncover the move from Adidas to AI-generated videos for promo, the 1980s classic movie franchise Gremlins making a return, and of course, we're doing another deep dive, going into the rabbit hole of internet videos and memes with Scrolling Deep. All of that and more coming up after this.
Redesigned.
Welcome back to another episode of the Redesigned Podcast, your go-to podcast for all things tech and digital culture. Here we look at the past, the present, and the future of tech and how it's shaping the human experience. My name is Andrew, also known as the content producer, and behind the scenes, I help people solve creative challenges by blending technology and storytelling. Whether it's crafting visual brands or designing sound for your content, I help individuals and businesses package their ideas effectively. For more info, you can check out thecontentproducer.co.uk to find out more. But in the meantime, I'm excited to share what's happening in tech this week and also go back to a time where life was simpler. If you haven't already, make sure to subscribe, leave a review, and let me know what your thoughts are on the topics being discussed. And with that being said, let's get into this week's episode. Samsung is officially stepping into the mixed reality battlefield. And guess what? They're not just dipping a toe in, they're coming for Apple's Vision Pro. Their long-awaited mixed reality headset, codenamed Project Moohan, is now set to drop in March 2025. Originally, they expected it sooner, but Samsung hit pause to rethink the design after Apple unveiled their 3.5K virtual reality, augmented reality headset. And now they're building a 3000 ppi display, a sleeker build, and a price tag that can actually make this tech accessible somewhere in the range of about $1,000 to $1,500. But this isn't just Samsung doing their own thing. Yeah, they're actually teaming up with Google, meaning that this headset is going to run on a brand new software called Android XR. So that's mixed reality. Yeah, that's what XR stands for. So it's a combination of virtual reality and augmented reality. Now, this is going to be optimized for immersive spatial apps, gaming, and next level productivity. So imagine putting on a headset and seamlessly switching between your work environment, entertainment, and even your social experiences. So we're talking about obviously the social media, messaging, all of that stuff, without actually touching your phone or your laptop. And all of this is made possible by, I think it's going to be imminent now, our move to AI assisted interactions between us and our devices. So I don't know if you've been keeping up with all the AI stuff, but they've got all these agents now like DeepSeek, OpenAI, where you can actually tell your AI agent to go and do things for you. So it automates a lot of the process. So for example, it could be like telling it to order a book from Amazon, or telling it to book a flight or book a table at a specific time. And you're literally talking to the AI. Like, let this sink in for a bit. We're going to move eventually from tapping and scrolling and swiping to just talking, and it will understand everything that you're saying, and it's just going to do it on your behalf. Do you know how insane that is? But anyway, I digress. Now, the big question is, will this actually make mixed reality mainstream? Now, when you think about it, Samsung has already got a track record of bringing premium tech to the masses. Think about it. They've brought us foldable phones, high-end displays, and even wearables. So if they can nail the affordability aspects, comfort, and overall user experience, this could really be the VR headset that finally breaks out of the tech or early adopter bubble and into the hands of the everyday consumer. So, is this Samsung's next big win, or is it just another flashy gadget that will collect dust? Let me know what you think in the comments, and if you're watching this on YouTube, don't forget to hit subscribe because we're diving deep into the future of tech. All right, let's talk about Adidas and their latest move in the AI space. Now, they've just dropped a new ad campaign called Flora, and guess what? It is completely AI generated. No film crews, no models, no traditional set design. We're talking pure machine learning magic. Now, this one was put together using a mix of Runway ML, Midjourney, Adobe Creative Suite, and also Topaz. And under the direction of the filmmaker Blair Vermette, the result is a visually stunning piece with floral themed clothing, dancers moving through these dreamlike Japanese-inspired landscapes, with Megan Thee Stallion's track Mamushi as the soundtrack. Now, of course, this ad has got people talking. On one side, you've got the tech enthusiasts and marketers praising it for, pushing creative boundaries and cutting their production costs. But on the other side, there's the argument that while it looks great, it lacks the emotional depth and the human touch that makes an ad connect. That's the debate we keep on coming back to over and over again when it comes to creative in the AI space. Now, of course, it can speed up the process of, creating stuff and generate some sick visuals, but can it replace authentic human storytelling? I don't think so, It's kind of like the difference between a heavily produced or well-edited Instagram reel or a YouTube video and a raw, heartfelt video filmed on someone's phone, for example. One might grab your attention, but the other one actually makes you feel something. But yeah, is this the future of advertising, or is it just an experimental trend everyone is jumping on right now? Let me know what you think in the comments, because if brands start to go all in on AI ads, we might be looking at a very different creative landscape in the next few years, and also for those who work in that industry. Just saying. All right, now, so we like a bit of nostalgia on this podcast. If you're a fan of the classic Gremlins movies, it's time to pay attention, because Gremlin 3 might actually be happening. For years, there have been whispers, rumors, and even abandoned scripts, but now Warner Brothers are reportedly working on reviving the iconic 1984 classic with a brand new installment. And get this, the original film's writer, Chris Columbus, is involved, and he's made it clear that if this movie does happen, it's going to stick to its roots. So that means no over-the-top CGI or AI. We're talking practical puppets, just like in the original. Now, don't get too excited yet. The project is still in its development phase with some rights issues to iron out before anything official goes ahead. But if it is real, Warner Brothers is, if they see enough demand, this is actually going to go forward. And with the nostalgia wave going on right now, the timing couldn't be better. So here's the big question. Do we need a Gremlins reboot? Do we need Gremlins 3? Or should some classics just be untouched? Hit me up with your thoughts, and if you're watching this on YouTube, drop a comment below. Would you want to see another installment of Gremlins?
There will be times when you need to make dozens of calls from a public phone.
No, a tow truck. When? But I got an urgent delivery.
Which is why we developed the phone card.
We'll give them baked beans.
Available from main post offices or selected newsagents, a phone card lets you buy your calls in advance. Most key city sites already have phone card phones, and we're getting round to local ones as fast as we can. So get a phone card.
Oh, no.
And you won't end up with egg on your face.
There was a time when a phone call was everything.
Hello?
Now, I come from a generation where spending hours on the phone was the norm. If you're a millennial, Gen X or older, I'm sure you can relate. It was basically part of the culture. Talking to friends, long distance relationships, calls to family abroad, a love interest, maybe even requesting a shout out on the radio. Whatever it was, whether it was on a payphone or a landline, talking was how we connected. Until answering machines were actually a thing. If you missed a phone call, that was it. You missed out. But then came pagers in the early 90s, reducing communication to just a few digits, just a prompt to call back. And then soon after the arrival of mobile phones going mainstream, it made calling a lot more convenient. But soon a quieter revolution began in the form of text messaging. By the late 90s, text messaging took off, offering a way to communicate without having to speak at all. As the 2000s rolled in, instant messaging apps like MSN Messenger and AIM changed the game. No longer did we have to call. We could just type, send, and wait for a reply. Now, chat rooms and status updates replaced ringing phones, and BRB became the new way to step away from a conversation. Now, what started as a shift from voice to text became the norm. That need for a real-time call faded, replaced by the always-on world of messaging, leading us to exactly where we are today. At its peak, 53 million people were living their digital lives through those little chat windows. We'd rush home from school, hear that iconic sound, and we just entered. It was almost as if we entered a different universe. MSN Messenger was Microsoft's answer to AIM, but let's be clear, it was so much more. Emojis, yep. The nudge button to annoy your friends, yep. The ability to communicate using ASCII art. I bet you don't know about those ones, but making emojis with like actual characters, yeah. Before the proper emojis. So all you Gen Zs, but you don't know about that. Now, if you didn't spend hours customizing your display name with random symbols and different colors, were you even a teenager in the early 2000s? Let me tell you about a moment a lot of people forget about. The first commercial video call. The year was 2003. The network, 3 network. The device, the NEC E616. It was like something out of a sci-fi movie. Video calls on an actual mobile device. But here's the brutal truth. Nobody was ready for it. Why? Let me break it down. The calls were crazy expensive. The camera angles were mad. The quality was unflattering. Like we're talking security camera from the 90s. Not even Ring doorbell levels. The network coverage, dead. And also a lot of social awkwardness. Imagine them times doing a video call in public. It's just cringe. The technology was way ahead of its time, like a whole decade ahead of its time. But it was the first crack in the armor of like just ordinary phone calls. Then came Skype later on, and then international calls didn't require selling a kidney to pay for it. Remember those £600-700 phone bills? Yeah, so if you've got family abroad, you know what I'm talking about. So 3 calls on your PC. So from one PC to another PC, as long as you had a webcam, international dial-in, that changed the game. That normalized internet communication. So Microsoft saw the potential and they ended up buying them out in 2011, cementing internet calling as the future. Now let's talk about the BlackBerry hype. That was the next chapter in messaging. Before WhatsApp, before iMessage, there was BBM. We can't forget about them. We've got to give them an honorable mention. The BlackBerry, it was like a status symbol. That little R next to your message, that red receipt, it was like a flex. If you think about it, professionals lived and died by the BlackBerry, and BBM was like, that was like the crown jewel, you know? A lot of the city workers, you can thank them for that trend. They put BlackBerry on the map and everyone wanted one. I remember having a BlackBerry, was it a BlackBerry Bold? Yeah, I had a BlackBerry Bold 9000. Then after that, I had a BlackBerry Bold 9700. Shout out to everyone who had a BlackBerry back in the day, man. Drop a comment if you had a BlackBerry and you still remember your BlackBerry pin. Madness. Yeah, so BlackBerry Messenger wasn't just a messaging service, it was a whole lifestyle. And then fast forward to 2019, the pandemic, we're talking about Zoom. No one could have predicted what was going to happen. No one could have predicted what was coming. But yeah, from 10 million daily meeting participants in December 2019 to 300 million by April 2020. Zoom didn't just change communication, it became a lifeline. You know, suddenly your grandparents were tech experts, or, you know, your work meetings were happening while wearing your pajama bottoms. The world just totally shifted. But let's look at the bigger picture. Let's look at the numbers. Why are phone calls actually declining? Yeah, because the numbers don't lie. Traditional phone calls are dropping fast. In the UK, time fell from 235 billion minutes in 2012 to around 202 billion in 2022. That's the number of minutes we were spending on phones actually talking. Meanwhile, WhatsApp has 2 billion monthly users, and over 60% of UK mobile users now actually prefer messaging over calling. But why though? Let's look at some of those reasons. Number one, you got convenience. Lets us respond when we want. You know, calls demand immediate attention. Can't multitask. 2, efficiency. Quick messages are a lot better than, you know, getting a lot better when it comes to getting straight to the point. You get to avoid the small talk. You know, a lot of people don't like small talk. And the third one is a bit of a funny one. It's because of anxiety. Many younger people actually hate phone calls. They feel intrusive and awkward compared to typing, especially when it comes to millennials and Gen Z. They literally run from phone calls. So for those of you with teenage kids, you know what I'm talking about. How easy is it to get through to your child the first time, but they ain't answering, you know? But this just isn't a timeline. This is a story of how communication evolved over a couple of generations. Like, it's been drastic change when you think about it. We started off with payphones, landlines, and look where we are now. We've gone from being tethered to a phone in one fixed spot, only able to talk one-on-one, you know, to living in an always on interconnected world where, like, literally you think about something and your thoughts, your ideas can be broadcast to like the whole world in seconds. How did we get here? Now, each platform, each technology, they weren't just tools, they were cultural moments that kind of refined how humans interact. So if like me, you're an 80s baby, we've lived through a complete madness. It's been a complete revolution. And you know what? The maddest thing is we're just getting started on another one. So what do I mean by that? What does the future hold? Remember how, like I said, Gen Z kind of runs from traditional phone calls? What if I told you that mixed reality might actually make voice calls sort of relevant again? Now imagine this, instead of a normal phone call that kind of feels intrusive or awkward, you're wearing smart glasses that transform communication into something completely different. So for a generation that's grown up with emojis and text messaging, traditional voice calls might seem a little bit invasive, but the mixed reality stuff, that's a different story. So picture a voice call that happens in your peripheral vision. Yeah, it can easily be dismissed or minimized. Like, literally, remember I said about talking to the device. Allows you to just do things while you're doing other things, multitasking. It feels more like it's being in a shared space rather than actually interrupting your day. So no more staring at a phone screen, no more feeling the anxiety of an unexpected call, interrupting whatever it is that you're doing. Imagine a holographic conversation. So the people that you can see them like in your field of vision, kind of like Star Trek. That's mad. But yeah, voice interactions that feel more like natural shared experiences. Like I said before, Samsung's mixed reality headset isn't just a gadget. It's potentially a game changer. It's potentially a paradigm shift. But and there's also a lot of other products on the way, such as Meta's Orion glasses. So you know where this is potentially heading already. If you don't know about the Orion glasses, yeah, look that up. And I'm going to do an episode about that as well. And sort of do a deep dive into smart glasses and what's next for communication and what's the next thing after smartphones? Because you know it's coming, right? But yeah, now every stage, technology gave us more options than the standard voice call. And the more options we had, the less we actually needed to talk to people on the phone. So by thinking about it, phone calls aren't dying. They're just evolving. And for Gen Z, they might just be something completely unrecognizable to previous generations. Something actually enjoyable, maybe. Who knows? All right, it's that time. We're going to be scrolling deep. Where is my phone? Right, let's get into this. We're going to be going down the rabbit hole. What we got this week?
When y'all do your high school reunion in 10 years, what the hell y'all going to play?
That's a hell of a good question, though, to be honest with you.
Oh.
That is a good question. What are they going to play?
What are you going to play? Like, what are you playing? Your Serato has to be loaded with songs that they may or may not remember because the industry designed it that way. Let me grab on.
Hey, listen, what streaming has done to music consumption, yeah, is actually mad, you know, when you think about it. Like, we're putting it's all about the numbers. Actually good or not, it's like if everybody else likes it, then yeah, I like it too. Crazy. And yeah, this is mad. Anyway, let's continue.
Who came up with math paying an artist 0.00 6.
Wow.
So is the issue the labels?
Yes. Artists will get 2 billion streams and only make $50,000. That's weird. This is why a song like I'll Make Love to You wouldn't work in 2024 because everybody just want to.
Yeah.
Nobody don't want to make love.
Yeah.
Boy. Boy, oh boy, oh boy. Let's continue. Hey, that is cool. Hey, that is cool. I would get that. I would buy that. That is cool.
Someone please tell me if we should be worried about this. So I just found this viral tool online, and what you can do with it is upload a picture of someone's face. It'll then replace your face on a webcam with that person's face. Just watch.
All right, the application is live on my desktop here, and this is what I would normally look like on my webcam. But if I go to select a face, I'm going to click on Elon's face right here. And you can see it's loaded that face. And when I click go live on this application, you can see it loads Elon's face onto my face for my webcam. I can take off my glasses and my bandana to make it look a little bit more realistic. And it is a little bit laggy, but that's just because my graphics card isn't that good. And this might give you some nightmares, but this is what I look like as Taylor Swift. Yeah.
Hey, I'm telling you about this AI stuff, you know. I'm telling you, the next couple of years is going to be insane. Imagine... How did we get here? How did we get here? Basically live deepfakes.
Pretty crazy, huh?
Do you know how mad that is? Hey, they're gonna take catfishing to a new level. Oh my days. Anyway, let's continue.
What's your name and where are you from?
Hi, I'm Mia Khalifa. I'm from Lebanon.
What do you do for a living?
I am a jewelry designer.
Hey, that's enough internet for me today, man. Honestly. All right, so we are back with another installment of the Sound Flash game. Let me tell you about this game. So I'm going to play a snippet of a song. I'm going to play a very short snippet of a song. And you got to guess what it is. It might be from a computer game. It might be a song. It might be from a movie soundtrack. It might be from a TV show. Whatever it is, you hear that little snippet and you got to guess what it is. Now, if you successfully guess the right answer, you're going to win a MacBook Pro. Okay, no, you're not going to win a MacBook Pro. Come on now. I might give you a shout out on the podcast or on the socials or something, but yeah, you expect me to? Come on, man. But anyway, I want to test your musical knowledge. I want to test your knowledge of like nostalgia and, you know, I want to see what we're working with the audience. I want to see what you guys are into. So yeah, so I'm going to play that little snippet and you got to guess what it is and drop the answer in the comments. I'm going to reveal the correct answer towards the end of the podcast. Yeah. So here it goes. You ready? Yeah. Did you catch that? I'm going to play it again. Come on now. Drop the correct answer in the comments and let's see what we're working with. I hope you enjoyed this week's installment of Redesigned Podcast. What can I say? We are moving at warp speed when it comes to tech and AI. In the next few episodes, expect me to do some more deep diving into AI, robotics and automation and that kind of stuff. Because, hey, listen, things are picking up speed, you know. Things are picking up speed and also how it's affecting the future of work. And something weird's going on right now. A lot of companies are saying staff should return to work and they're getting rid of a lot of their work from home incentives, which is crazy because we've got the technology to work from home. So why are we not working from home? But hey, a lot of these companies are saying that productivity is falling. I don't know. I think it's got something more to do with how much they're spending on how much commercial property is declining in value because of that. Because a lot of companies sold their buildings during the pandemic. Something to think about. But yeah, the world is moving at lightning speed, especially with this AI stuff, all the stuff going on with DeepSeek, OpenAI. Alibaba's jumped into the AI race as well with a new model called Quen. So much to talk about, man. Honestly, there's just... and it must be overwhelming for you guys because like in terms of AI tools, there's so much to learn about. whether it's generative AI, whether it's AI for productivity and your work or project management, research. So much stuff going on, man, honestly. And I think what I'm going to do is do some behind the scenes videos. I'm going to actually showcase some of this stuff and then show how it works, and then maybe do like a Patreon or something like that where you can actually learn how to use this stuff properly. So let me know if you think that's a good idea, or if you've got any ideas or anything that you want covered on a future episode. Let me know in the comments. And so yeah, the correct answer to this week's installment of Soundflash is Gypsy Woman by Crystal Waters. I think that song came out in 1991. I'm not sure. I'm gonna have to, you know what, let me just check. Alexa, when did the song Gypsy Woman by Crystal Waters get released? There you go. See, hey, man knows about the music, 1991, spot on. Yeah, Gypsy Woman, Crystal Waters, 1991, taking it way back. Anyway, hope you enjoyed this week's episode, and don't forget, if you liked the episode, don't forget to follow, subscribe wherever you're listening. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Leave a review if you're on Apple Podcasts or Spotify. And yeah, we'll catch you on the next episode. Until then.